Upgrade Accessibility's logo shows the words Upgrade Accessibility in white text on a maroon background. It rises up off screen to make way for the Pride Our Way logo. The logo depicts a brown circle referencing a head, which sits atop dancing light pink and blue flowy arm lines. Below the arms are arch lines overlapping each other, forming a circle. These lines are each a color of the Pride rainbow. In the center of the circle is a black dot. The colors all come from the Progress Pride flag. The background is a tan, thin squiggle. Upgrade Accessibility and Pride Our Way were both founded by Mary Fashik. The logo for Pride Our Way was created by Judine Rose Studio. A maroon screen with white text that shows the logos for the sponsors of Pride Our Way. Some of the colors that you can observe on our sponsors' logos are red and violet, yellow, and brown.
We would like to say thank you to our sponsors, Row House Publishing, Dear Patriarchy Podcast, Somewhere Under the Rainbow Collective, Sarah V., Brittany Carmona Holt, and Something Greater Social. Submission for Pride Our Way, Spoken Word, The Scottish Blood Play by Ash Bainbridge. Pronouns, they, them. The power of menses, for none of woman born shall harm me. So what of agendered blood? Fair is foul, and foul is hair, caught in cotton pads. Coffee grind dregs cling to thighs. A wired-up skull fizz pops, and rubied lemon clots flood boxers, where protection does not stick. Tampons of human kindness, gifted underhand in bogs, with emblems of stick ladies lording. Gatekeepers who open, lock, whoever knocks, for that dry scud of insertion in my sticky hole of gender storms. I thirst to toast the health of Earth-age lunar herstory with witches, my womb full of sound and fury, for reasons divine, triumphant, gloria, not dysphoria, in prego-trogs, with room for bellies bloated by babies and digested binaries. My genderless skins pooled taut. Self-grafted buffers, brick by brick, each molded, baked, cemented with self-love, self-desperation, determination, fear, hope, and hopelessness as hormone clouds burst. One droplet anvils all to dust. Then double, coil and trouble. Dry COVID coughs corkscrewed Morena low, so low, her clipped wire tips nicked my labia. And now, two streams swoop in one fell of bloody confluence. I have no need to cry, unsex me here, but still embers churn with granitic shards to crunch my uterus bound in chains of constructs that drag the blistering cauldron. Do you, cishets, commend such pains? Superlatively visceral, when my spirit, mortal thoughts have stepped aside. I surrender, submit, shame and strain, bleeding thunder, lightning, wind, and rain. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, as cast, set, and stage pulse through. For fun, torturing my mind with dreams of vacuuming the wine stock and fertilizing flowers, as salt from skies and eyes is licked, comes monthly, roughly, nourishing, nurturing. Do I lack this season of all natures? Or spend these periods in and out myself, and more? Published in Genderqueer, Menstruation Sign, Bleeding Thunder, 2021. Small Town Charm by Cátia. Trigger warning for mentions of physical abuse, suicide attempt, gaslighting, strong language, and bullying. In media, small towns are great. A picture-perfect small town square. Smiles from strangers who truly, really care. Promises of beautiful nature everywhere. In real life, though, they are haunting, mumbling sounds here and there, whispers in your corners, growing louder and louder the more you share. My life is a mouth-to-mouth narrative told by people I don't even know. But my small town is also beautiful foggy mornings and amazing hikes in the woodland meadow. So I should be grateful for my own special beast of a town. She is a siren whose beautiful song you follow, and then there you are, drowning in pain and sorrow. The siren, the beast, is a place for abusers to grow. They terrorize, agonize, they break and take from the ones below. But it's okay, I realize, 'cause after all, they have that nice kind of fame. No worries, the siren gave me something too. It's called the pretend game. This is what I do, and also probably you. I'm fine. I'm okay. She stares back at me. It's all good, I cry to my reflection. Or it would be, but unfortunately, I'm unfamiliar with perfection. I remember how the beast fed me lies of purity, love and joy, of peace, community, and great guys. Turns out it was all a ploy. Sights of your abusers walking around, head held up high, everyone smiling at them, welcoming them, and all you can do is hide. Be invisible. Don't cry. I was always too much and too little. I'm a broken record of the same fears from when I was small. The same old tales of lack of trust and invisible walls. The same high expectations following the same unbearable high falls. Storytellers wouldn't write my life as a tragedy. It would be more like a film on how my daddy left me. But then in comes Amen, the husband-to-be. We fall in love. He patches me up. I'm fixed, not broken, no longer crazy. They would write my relationship with my mom as great, how she was oh so strong, but they wouldn't dare mention the beatings, screams, and guilty trips that came along. I'm sad and angry right now. I hate this town. I hate how everyone says it's so perfect. Oh, to know the baker's name, and be aware of the winds of your wealthy neighbor's birthday. Let them eat cake. I guess that's their own little game. Then they continue and say phrases as follow. Don't listen to rumors. Those people don't matter. Let it go. To me, this feels hollow. For you see, later on, they babble on about another's life, how they fuck a waitress instead of their poor wife. Then in comes another with a story to tell. Have you heard the one about the rich man's daughter who tried to kill herself? What does she have to complain about? Her life is perfect. Daddy feeds her. Mommy loves her. She has money to spare. Oh well, I guess she can afford to take on that dare. More things are said to me, but if I say something contradicting their cries, then I'm for sure both toxic and crazy, the type of person you'd toss aside without goodbyes. No offense, you look bad today. I'm just saying, you could try harder to do better, okay? Don't take it to heart, but honestly, isn't your life like falling apart? And this is how people don't meddle at all. As long as you truly, really mean no harm. Even if others are clearly your puppet doll. It's all good, 'cause such is that small town charm. Disabled and Trans by Ilyas. Content note. Being trans, pride, madness, neurodivergence, disability, mental illness, ableism, sanism, transmisia, psychiatry, deviance, multiple and intersecting marginalizations. It's Pride Month. I'm thinking of all trans people who are disabled, who are mad, who are not palatable, who are complicated, who are ignored, and multiple marginalized. I'm thinking of disabled trans people who have to decide between getting care and starting transition, who are told by doctors that they are too disabled or too ill to transition, who have no caretakers, who have no access to medical care, who are discriminated by medical staff. I'm thinking of disabled trans people who are told they can't be trans because of their mental illness, who are too crazy, who are being abused by psychiatric systems, who are accused of faking their transness, who are called attention seekers, who are diagnosed as transsexual, and therefore multiple pathologized. I'm thinking of disabled trans people who are infantilized, who are told that they can't know what is good for them, who are told they can't understand what being trans means, who are treated as objects without desires and dreams. I'm thinking of disabled trans people who have problems with hygiene, who can't shave themselves, who can't wear a binder, who can't change their clothes, who use mobility devices, who are deaf, who have tics, who stim loud, who are impulsive, who are disabled, who are fat, who are intersex, who are more than one person, who are afraid of the outside world because people will stare at them. I'm thinking of disabled trans people who live in the darkness, who will never come out, who mask their transness, whose transness is their mask, who wear their desired underwear, secretly under their clothes, who trans hostile people imagine when they think of trans people. Perverts, criminals, freaks, predators, gender deviants. It is Pride Month. Many trans people will say, being trans is not a mental illness, which is absolutely right and important to say. But some of us are mentally ill. We are not freaks. Some of us are called freaks, not only by cis people, but also by you. For some of us, transness and madness, transness and disability is intertwined. It does not make us problematic, dangerous, treacherous, inauthentic. Some of us will stay deviants forever, not only because of cissexism, but also because of ableism and saneism and many other oppressions. I think about this topic often. I don't have much choice. Transsexual is my diagnosis, besides many others. Disabled trans body, forever deviant in an ableist world. Art submission by Lars, an image of a bust which starts at the ears and ends right below the shoulder. There are no other features that are recognizable. There are flowery tattoos on the neck, shoulder, and a small one over the heart. There is a second bust beside it with the colors of the trans flag. Both busts are outlined by a brown box. Art submission by Laura. A white person is holding the art piece against a light blue background. It's a circle with ribbons weaved throughout the center and gathered around the outside. The colors are aqua, a light purple, red, orange, and yellow. The next 4 pieces, collectively entitled Tere's Pride, were created by Tere Apple Blessings. Each piece has brush strokes going in multiple different directions. The first piece has layers of color. On the background, magenta, orange, yellow, teal, purple, and blue. The foreground has thinner brushstrokes. Yellow in the center, surrounded by each of the other colors. There are a few orange and red dots sprinkled throughout. The second piece also has large areas of color, green and a deeper, richer blue, a more vibrant red. Each color is more saturated. In the foreground are dotted lines of red and purple, orange and yellow, all intertwined and flowing into each other. There are a few clusters of very fine dots, adding more texture to the piece in blue and red. The third painting of the bunch has the same colors throughout: green and orange, red and purple, blue, yellow, except the larger areas of color in the background have softer edges, almost cloud-like. In the center are strokes of green and red that peek out from amongst the other colors. The fourth painting is more saturated than the other 3. The colors are more vibrant, richer, brighter, deeper, the green more neon. The dominant colors are red, green, and blue. The texture of the piece is larger and more homogeneous, but the colors have more contrast. The bright red and green create hard, textured lines against the deep navy and royal blues.